Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I am All in Crypto, and today we are going to talk about a blockchain that is quite literally revolutionizing not just the traditional financial space, but also the crypto space. And it's doing this by bridging them together and creating an operating system that is going to allow traditional financial institutions into the crypto space. The blockchain that I'm, of course, talking about is Quant. The token associated with Quant is QNT. Now, Quant Network is not a blockchain. However, it does have a token, which is used to pay for fees. And there's various other utility to it, which, of course, is the Quant token, which lives on the Ethereum blockchain as an ERC20. So what I want to do in this video is talk to you a little bit about what Quant is. For many of you, it's new. We've spoken about Quant, I think, a handful of times on this channel. But this is a blockchain project that is not only doing something exceptionally interesting, but is actually making major headway in the traditional financial world. We're going to take a look now at an announcement from Gilbert Verderame, who is the founder of Quant Network. We've got quite a few videos coming up where we're going to be just looking at specific cryptos and doing a deep dive on them, showing you what they are, how they work, everything in between, where we're really going to focus on fundamentals of projects, and we will look at Quant. One thing that I found when I was looking into Quant was indeed Gilbert's background, which is impressive to say the least. Very much seems like the man for the job to build a blockchain project that is trying to integrate with the traditional financial world, but allow that world to gain access to the entire crypto space through what they call an Overledger OS. Overledger OS stands for Overledger Operating System. Very interesting. Let me just go ahead and get rid of my face and show you the tweet from Gilbert, the CEO, talking about a pretty big milestone and what's currently going on with Quant. Then we'll talk about the Quant project, look at a few other statements, and then we'll refer this to the sort of price action. So the reason for me making this video was really on the back end of a tweet from Gilbert Verderame. It reads, "I am incredibly proud to be able to announce that Quant Network has been collaborating with the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, and the Bank of England on Project Rosalind, a project designed to implement a CBDC API and platform and testing use cases for CBDCs with financial service participants. We were chosen to provide the technology, so they're providing the technology for this, because of our history of innovation, expertise in financial services, and deep experience in payments, previously running mission critical infrastructure. Only we can do what the project needed from a technological partner and payment expert. The CBDC has produced tangible real-world examples that test how CBDCs could support a more digitalized economy in the future, working with participants like the Bank of Canada, Barclays, MasterCard, and Amazon, who built and tested new CBDC payment flows on the platform. CBDCs are coming. I encourage every bank and financial institution to read the Project Rosalind report and start planning their smart money infrastructure strategy." So how is Quant going to be able to facilitate this? Well, Quant actually doesn't rely on its own blockchain. It relies on the crypto space. And it offers, I think they're partners with R3, Corridor, with Ripple. Ripple are also working with the Bank of England. Very interesting. You know, we think XRP is going to win the lawsuit. We've looked at all that previously. But this is all very interesting because Quant doesn't actually provide the services itself to do this. It provides the interface to be able to connect with the services, i.e. the crypto space. It is so interesting, this project. You know, it's really time that we start paying a little bit more attention to it. There's a number of cryptos. We also covered Quant in our ISO or IS20022 standards video, a standard that's going to become very applicable to how money transfers around the world. Quant is already in line with those standards. This is essentially the Overledger network, which Quant actually uses. There's two components with Quant. You've got the Overledger OS, which is the operating system, and then you've got the Overledger network, which is the kind of network of people using that system. This is essentially how Quant works. You've got Quant here. You've got existing networks. So you've got platforms, enterprise systems, and applications. Then you've got enterprise permission blockchains, which are coming. I don't believe we've got that many of them just yet in regards to institutions building, but we do have things like Ripple, JPM's Corium, So JP Morgan's Corium, Hyperledger. You've got a number of others here. There's going to be much more. And then you've got public blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, IOTA, EOS, Stellar, so on and so forth, that these other networks can harness, and you can kind of interoperably connect with things. So for example, if you wanted to use Bitcoin security but use Stellar Lumen's speed, you can do that with Quant. So Quant is not an actual blockchain, but it's a operating system that allows you to interact with the blockchain space and kind of bridges the traditional financial world with the crypto space. And this is the world that we're moving towards. You guys know it's absolutely my opinion that everybody is going to be using blockchain in the future. The same way we all use our mobile phones. We don't even think about the technology and the technological revolution that was. We take it for granted now because it's here. Blockchain's similar. We're communicating over the internet. We're doing it on a PC. These are all revolutions. The lights are on right now. This is electricity. Blockchain is the exact same, and Quant are doing some really interesting things. We'll look at a number of other comments. So the project Rosalind is something they're pretty proud about because they put it right at the front of their website. Quant collabs with the Bank of International Settlements and the Bank of England on Project Rosalind. Project Rosalind, directed by the BIS Innovation Hub London Centre, has been testing how APIs could facilitate retail payments in CBDCs and support exploration of innovative CBDC use cases. This is more so Quant aren't just doing this. They've got a lot of other things going on. You can see who they're partnered with. One thing I want to mention is a lot of people will say, well, you know, and one of the reasons I got into Bitcoin was because of the social properties, the social revolution that it also brought with the technological one. Free money. You guys know that I'm a libertarian. I'm a big Austrian economist. In regards to, I largely agree with a lot of what I find it one of the better schools of economy, and one that I kind of identify with, I guess. I am not for CBDCs. Right? This project is helping to facilitate CBDCs. CBDCs are coming whether we like it or not. From an investment point of view, this is a big sector and a big use case that's being used. Quant's making headway. From an investment point of view, it makes sense. From a freedom point of view, perhaps Quant doesn't make sense. That's just my take on it. I'm not bashing the project here. I just think it's more of an investment for me than a blockchain that I'm kind of like really behind. And I think it's doing some amazing things. Even if you look at sort of for the non-use case of CBDCs, a small to medium enterprise, an SME, they can use Quant to use the blockchain space. So Quant's doing some pretty insane things in regards to not just CBDCs, but bridging the kind of the world with crypto. So there's yings and yangs to it. In regards to CBDCs, we're not for CBDCs. You can also see that Quant on CBDCs actually spoke in Europe. They were joint with Deutsche Bank, who recently filed for a crypto exchange or a license to do that, JP Morgan, Nexi, and the European Central Bank. So it's not just the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF, Bank of England, and multiple central banks are all looking towards this technology. This is from the Bank of International Settlements themselves. Project Rosalind provided lessons on key aspects of retail CBDC systems, such as API designs, privacy models, security standards, offline payments, private sector programmability, and ecosystem roles and responsibilities. Again, talking about Project Rosalind, the Bank of England. And here you have Barclays Chief Technological Officer participated in Project Rosalind, a joint enterprise, yada, yada, yada. Barclays prototype a novel use case for payments on physical delivery, wow, which include simulating a consumer purchasing a product online with a payment amount being locked in the consumer's CBDC account and then release for the payment when the consumer acknowledges physical delivery. Quant doesn't just make me bullish on Quant, it makes me bullish on the entire space. And you can hear the excitement in my voice in regards to this project and what it's doing. But as an investor, this sort of stuff gets me excited. We assess that this market's going to be huge. Quant is part of this market becoming huge as it needs to bridge with the traditional financial world. Quant is doing that. And I don't agree with CBDCs at all, but they're coming. And from an investment point of view, this makes sense. From a freedom point, I can't even argue that it doesn't make sense, but CBDCs are certainly not something that we're on board with. So let me know in the comment section, guys. I just wanted to keep this short and sweet. Maybe introduce it to some of my following. It is a very interesting project with some huge sort of partners. It's got a real world use case, which is always good to see. It's not suffered as much as many of the other cryptocurrencies, certainly the altcoins. But I will do an entire video on Quant as a project, looking into the specifics, you know, really kind of a video to help people understand exactly what Quant is, why you'd use it, how you'd use it, what it does, and everything in between, the history of it, and so on and so forth. So stay tuned for that, guys. That'll probably be coming in a couple of weeks' time. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and concerns about Quant. If you've enjoyed the content, as always, like is appreciated, so as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you in the next.